Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Of course, my name is Blitzwinger, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to, of course, another Let's Build video. Thank you guys so very much for the amazing support on the last Let's Build. It got over 970 likes, so you guys are absolutely fantastic and terrific with your awesome support. So, of course, as always, if you don't know what Let's Build is, it's basically where I take a small or relatively medium, let's put it that way, Lego set, typically Lego set, maybe at some point it'll be Mega Blocks, you never know, or something else, maybe next, you never know, and then I go ahead and assemble the set while answering your questions or answering some general questions that I have been asked several different times, so kind of almost like an FAQ in that regard. Nonetheless, today we're going to be assembling the Batman and Super Angry Kitty attack set, which is 115 pieces. It comes with 3 different minifigures, well, if you consider Angry Kitty, of course, a minifigure. She looks absolutely spectacular, by the way. We get a Skeletron and, of course, Batman, which is the most exciting part for sure. We also get one of those Omnitrons, or I forgot what they were called. I'm not sure. It doesn't say the name on the package, so I kind of did forget about that. So let's go ahead and punch on into the package here, and I hope that I am doing this right. I always have a hard time with this. For some reason, I feel like I always do it wrong, but then it opens up nice and slowly. All right, so here's our little baggies of goodies. Ooh, there's our cape for Batman. This should be a soft cape, I believe, because, oh no, is it still the, yep, it's still the hard cape. Okay, I guess they didn't change to the soft capes yet when this set came out, so still have the harder shaped cape, not the soft, super soft goods, kind of cloth-like shape. So we're gonna go ahead and open all of our parts up, and then we will get to discussion, because today, Batman is certainly very appropriate to be in this set, because there's a reason why I chose him for today's Let's Build, because we're going to be discussing the Batman vs. Superman trailer, as well as the brand new Suicide Squad, of course, pictures of the Joker. It looks quite menacing, so a bit of a warning for you there. If you are of younger age, he is a pretty spooky guy. If you haven't seen him, he's definitely quite spooktacular looking in that picture. Definitely very spooky. So, with that in mind, let me go on ahead and begin assembling Batman here, and as I do so, I will also begin my discussion on Batman v Superman. So, of course, if you didn't know, the Batman vs. Superman trailer came out. Well, it actually got leaked initially, which was interesting because it was so funny because there was all this hype, and then they were like, hey, all of a sudden it's leaked. I believe it was like a Brazilian version of it that was leaked that was very poor looking, but then once it leaked, ooh, some 2 really cool expressions right here, and it's interesting how they went with a different look. Like we have the, typically they do like the white headband to create the eyes for Batman, but this time around they did something different, so that's very cool. I like that quite a bit. So, as you can see, there's Batman, looking very growly and tough. I actually really like that suit. Like, that is an amazing outfit. I really like that. We also need to assemble our Skeletron, so let's do that. Actually, well, you know what? Wait, let's first assemble Batman's Grappling Hook, because that looks just too much fun to not assemble that thing. So I'm just going to set the booklet a little bit to the side, because I can't actually see it around the camera. But nonetheless, that trailer came out, and of course, right away, and I mean right away, people began judging it, and it was, which is something that will happen. That's definitely normal. There's nothing wrong with that. But I was very genuinely surprised by just how harsh the judgment for the film was. Like, right away, there was a big push to say that this film is awful. I mean, it's a teaser trailer for a movie that is 11 months away, which is something that a lot of people, I think, have forgotten, that this movie is still quite a ways away. I mean, there is still, like, this movie can change a lot between now and release date, which is something that I feel like a lot of people don't even kind of account for, so that's kind of an interesting little element that I don't hear very many people bring up or talk about, is the fact that this thing is still quite a ways away, so I'm not sure why people are so panicky, but nonetheless, I honestly was very surprised by that. By the way, there's the grappling hook, which is awesome. I mean, it's about half the size of Batman's body, but it's still really cool looking, and that's a very nifty accessory. This is a really cool set already. Like, I'm super impressed by the Batman figure. I really love the expression on that. Both of his expressions are lovely. So there's Mr. Batman, but then again, I'm biased because I love Batman. But I was actually very, very surprised by the trailer. I think the trailer was quite good. I think the most common criticism for the trailer is the fact that it didn't really show us anything. I mean, it showed us absolutely nothing. It just basically told us, well, Superman's in it, and Batman's in it, and they're going to be fighting. Which, to be fair, that is the movie, so it's kind of obvious that that's what we're going to get. But I feel like the trailer absolutely showed us things about what we can expect for the storyline. I think that it showed us the whole idea of Superman not being perceived as a god. It showed us of maybe Superman was initially accepted as a god, but then the people turned on him, and the majority of the city does not either want to believe in him or simply does not believe in him anymore as the figure that he kind of wants to represent or pretends to be or is wanting to be. Whatever, I don't know how to articulate that, but I hope you understand what I mean. So, like we see the kind of, graffitied statue of him, "You are no god" or "false god." It says something like that. There's our little Skeletron, by the way, so that's nice. I think Unikitty is next. And I was very pleasantly surprised by that. I was like, okay, cool. We actually were given a little bit of context as to what happened. And I think the best part of that is that they potentially, Zack Snyder and DC listened to some of the criticism from Man of Steel, which is very nice to see, because I think they definitely kind of questioned the idea of how Superman went about saving the planet of Earth and the city of Metropolis, more specifically. And I think maybe that's kind of where the backlash comes from, because of the way that he went about stopping that battle. And maybe, people are actually going to be mentioning it as an element of, hey, this battle would have never even happened if it wasn't for you. Like, you brought this onto us, and you created all this death and this destruction, and you killed a guy and stuff like that. So it kind of questions this whole morale and the whole ethics of what Superman stands for, and the whole concept of Superman being all about hope and all about all about hope and creating the image of this absolutely superior, ultimate version of what man could be. And I think that that's actually cool, and I think that that's a very interesting, thematically, that's a very interesting thing to explore. So I think that we were very much given some elements of storyline, and I think that I actually am more excited about the film than I was before, because, to be honest, I was very nervous about the movie, and still am, to a certain regard. I am still very nervous about the film. Oh, cool, we get a new piece here, the dark colored one, stud with the hole, so that's cool. But yeah, I'm still nervous about the film because of the fact that I'm nervous more so about the things we didn't see, and that's of course Wonder Woman and Aquaman. There's Angry Kitty looking absolutely awesome. Munch, munch, munch. Look at that, she could be like best friends with Pac-Man with a mouth like that. That's awesome. Alright, so we have all of our minifigures now assembled, so that's great. So now we get to work on, of course, the actual little bot that is in this set as well. So you can see lots of pieces still left over for that. So let's begin getting to work on it. So yeah, the thing I'm worried about, back on topic here, the thing I'm worried about more so is the things we didn't see, because I actually liked the way that Ben Affleck sounded. I think he looked very cool in that suit. I think the shot of the other suit that we get, the more kind of robotic, or the Hulkbuster equivalent, I guess that's what people are saying, for Batman, I think looked very neat. I really did like that line at the end where he said, "Do you bleed?" Yes, it's a little cheesy, but I think it's a very Batman line. Like, you could definitely imagine that Batman in that world, in the Zack Snyder universe, would say that. He would ask Superman, "Do you bleed?" Because you will. So it's really, really cool. It works, and it kind of gives you a bit of a tone for what you can expect that Batman to be. And I like that, because I think that it fits within the world of Man of Steel. Now, of course, a lot of people right away mentioned, "Oh, it's so dark. It's so dark. It's very dark." And I 100% agree with people who said that Man of Steel was a bit dark. It was dark at times, and I think that it took itself maybe just a wee little bit too seriously, and then at the same time, not seriously enough in some important areas. And in some areas, it kind of took itself to a very ridiculous point. And I hope that that's something that will be addressed in this film. I hope that they kind of balance the whole concept of darkness and lightness. I think that where the film can get some of that light and get some maybe comedic relief or some actual kind of push back towards the whole idea that, oh, DC movies are super duper dark and they're not fun, which is something you never want to hear, no matter what kind of movie you're saying. If your movie's not fun, I don't think that, especially if your movie is a blockbuster film, you never want anybody to say, oh, that movie doesn't look fun. Like, that's a dangerous thing to hear from a lot of audience members already. So I think the way that they could counter that is to create a lot of excitement between Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent. I think that will be a very interesting element that could be explored and could create a lot of fun scenarios. Like, you could have a ton of back and forth of where Bruce Wayne maybe isn't aware that Clark Kent is Superman, but Clark Kent is aware that Bruce Wayne is Batman. So that would be, I think, quite exciting. Or vice versa. You could do the other way around, you know, where Bruce, let's say, shows up in the not Daily Bugle, goodness gracious, Daily Planet? Is that what it's called? I think it may be. But yeah, he shows up at Clark Kent's offices, if Clark, of course, works as a reporter, because we don't know if that's the case. But if he does, he shows up there, or he shows up at the farm or something like that, and he's like, yeah, I want to buy this farm or something like that. And you could have a lot of fun and exciting back and forth between Clark and Bruce. And I think that's where you could have a little bit more of the comedic relief and kind of have a little bit more of fun with the actual theme. Sorry about that. I was getting frazzled as to where these pieces were. But yeah, I think that that's where we could have a bit of the fun. As I mentioned, I'm still nervous about the movie in terms of where does Wonder Woman and Aquaman fit in this whole thing. I hope that it's literally just some sort of a tease or a cutscene, or not a cutscene, sorry, too much video game talk, but maybe just some sort of like a little bit of a remark in terms of maybe at the very end credits, or like at the very end of the movie, we see Batman and Superman have fought, and this has created even more chaos, and so much so that it has impacted the ocean. So Aquaman appears and he is angered, and then we see Wonder Woman maybe appear as well, and she, for some odd reason, she may be tied into the whole thing some way. So again, I'm still concerned about the amount of characters that are involved with this thing. That's really my main concern now, because I liked visually the way that the trailer looked. I think it looks very nifty. Obviously, very much Zack Snyder type of look, so if you don't like that, it's obviously one of those things that you either like it or you don't. It's never going to change, because I don't think his style has really evolved or changed very much. I think it's kind of stayed the same since probably 300. So I don't think that he has changed in terms of it being any different. I think he is still very much a visual director, and that's why I kind of wish that at some point we could have somebody like him work with somebody who's very story driven. You know, like if we could take somebody like Christopher Nolan and have him work with Zack Snyder as a director of photography or something, that would be a match made in heaven, because I think that would be just so much fun and just such an exciting combination, because visually the stuff he does is very, very cool in my opinion. But it is in terms of storytelling, I think, where Zack Snyder has a bit of a weaker point, in my opinion. Again, could be wrong, and if you guys disagree with that, you can definitely, in a very civil manner, let me know in the comment section below, and I'd love to get into some discussion with you guys on your thoughts on the matter, and what did you guys think of the Superman versus Batman trailer, Dawn of Justice, of course, and whether or not you guys enjoyed it or not. Let me know in the comment section below. But overall, I'm excited. Of course, I'm probably also a bit biased because I'm a huge Batman fan, so I'm always going to be kind of a bit more inclined to say good things about it, more so than other people. But I think that the trailer did what it needed to do, especially considering we are so far out from the film coming out. And the other thing I'm very hopeful on is the fact that because this trailer has come out so far ahead of the film, maybe they can go ahead and actually scour the internet and kind of scour other people's news sites and such to just see some opinions of what people are feeling, like what kind of vibe are people having from the film or from the teaser, so to speak, and what is exciting to people, what isn't. And maybe they can take that into mind in terms of, hey, look, we can have a darker tone than what Marvel does. You know, we can have something that is a bit more serious in nature, but at the same time, we need to have a little bit of leeway and a little bit of comedic relief and a little bit of fun with the movie, because we can't just constantly barrage you with just negative and depressing moments one after another, because that's not what these stories are all about. Now again, obviously, they could take that storyline and make it amazing, and then people will never complain, so that's a possibility as well, but I would rather have at least a bit of comedic relief throughout. Now, speaking of comedic relief, let's talk about Jared Leto's Joker. And of course, the controversial look that has been revealed. It has finally officially been revealed what the Joker will look like in Suicide Squad. Of course, if you want to check that out, go to basically any superhero website. You could go ahead. I just don't want to post the pictures because I'm not sure like how it works and copyright and such. But I may post a link in the description for you guys. Yeah, I'll do that. So you guys could go ahead and conveniently click that and check it on out. But yeah, I'll have a link for you guys so it's a little bit more convenient for you to find it. And you can go ahead and click it and check it on out. Again, warning, if you're a younger viewer, be aware that he is pretty spooky looking. He's got a lot of tattoos, and he certainly is quite a spooky looking character. This is cool. So we have a nice little breakaway element here with this little shift. So as you break that away, that allows you to destroy this little Scantron thing. So that's kind of nifty. I like that. That definitely comes together very nicely. So very, very cool in that regard. Like that quite a bit. And a nice little perspective there in terms of eye and like almost a nose here. So very nice. Nifty. I like it. I like the asymmetrical look, like where we have different panel work on each side. So that's quite nice too. But Jared Leto as the Joker. I am very I don't know what to say about it, because on one hand, I want to be excited because, again, it's the Joker, which means it's Batman themed, which means I like it right away. And I know that that's a very bad mentality to have in terms of, like, you should still be critical even of the things you love, especially of the things you love, because you want to be able to criticize them and make sure that they are the best product they possibly could be. But with that in mind, I'm not I like it, but at the same time, I am, just like I was with Heath Ledger, I'm concerned about the look. Like, I'm concerned how it will look on screen and how it will be portrayed. More so, I'm concerned about what this means for this look specifically, like, because based on this look, what kind of a Joker can we expect? Like, what could this Joker be, and what will he be like? Is he going to be this crazy gangster kind of Joker and a lot more thematic in that regard, or is he going to be more of the classic jokey Joker, kind of, more puns and jokes and terrible puns and such? So in what way will he be coming together? Because visually we can kind of start to understand, okay, well, he could have or exemplify these types of characteristics or these types of characteristics, and we can kind of safely start making some assumptions. Of course, not all, but we can definitely make some assumptions on what this will be. Because, of course, same with Heath Ledger. When I want to remind to everybody, when the Heath Ledger pictures came out of the Joker, people hated them. Like, people genuinely said, oh my god, that looks awful. And I'll be honest, I was one of the people that was like, I'm not sure about that. That looks a little bit messy. But the one thing that it did give us an understanding of is the fact that this Joker was going to be very, very peculiar and very weird, and it was going to be definitely still dark in tone, because he had his face, the way that the makeup and everything was done was very much grim and dark. It wasn't like happy and cheery. Whereas this Joker looks very, not happy or cheery, but looks a lot more maybe maniacal, having less of a cause. Like, it almost felt like with the Joker, he almost, the way that Heath Ledger played him, it almost like some of the things he did were almost coming from a bit of a good place, like, you know what I mean, in terms of trying to make people understand how we value each other and how we sometimes become animals and such, and how we should maybe treat each other better. So it was weird, but there were some themes like that explored, in The Dark Knight, but still, at the end of the day, he was obviously a bit crazy. Whereas this Joker looks like he is going to be just absolutely bananas. Like, this Joker looks like he is going to be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, if you know what I mean. We have a whole bunch of spare little pieces here, so that's very nice. A whole bunch of nice spares that will come in handy. And there's the set, though, guys. That's very cool. I definitely like it quite a bit. We have nice little arms here, flick fire missiles as well. Two of them, actually. So we have that one right there, and then the shorter range one, so that's nice. It looks cool too. I like the actual shape of it. Of course, lots of tangible arms, little cool arm looks. There's Batman, who's a boss, looking like an absolute boss. our little Skeletron, and Angry Kitty. So, to wrap up, what do I think about Jared Leto as the Joker? I'm skeptical. I'll be honest. I can't, as much as I love Batman, I can't sit here and say, oh yeah, I think it's going to be great. I hope it's great. I surely do. I think that I have a bit of a harder time trusting DC than I do Marvel, because I think if we look at Marvel and we look at DC, Marvel has definitely lived up to their expectations and oftentimes surpassed expectations plenty of times at this point. So it's almost like it's safe to trust Marvel. Like, even if something comes out that is a little bit questionable, I'm a lot more forgiving with Marvel than I would be with DC, because we've been burned by DC more often. And as a result of that, I'm a little bit more questionable on DC decisions. But I hope that it's awesome. It looks very cool. It looks like it's definitely going to be a unique take. I think Jared Leto is a very underrated actor, so I hope that he puts together a very, very memorable and cool Joker indeed. So, nonetheless, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on, of course, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, the trailer, and additionally to that, I also would love to hear your opinions on Jared Leto as the Joker. I'd love to hear that discussion in the comment section below. Additionally, the other thing you can do in the comment section below is leave questions for the next Let's Build. So if you have any questions, whether it be superhero related, other Lego sets related, Lego movie, Lego games, whatever it is, leave those in the comment section below, and the next time that I sit down to record one of the Let's Build, I will definitely go back to this video and check out the comment section below for which questions you guys would like to see answered, or hear answered, I guess. Nonetheless, thank you guys so very much for watching. Have an absolutely fantastic day. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you guys later, alligators. Bye-bye, everyone.